All right, just give me the cue.
Well, this is great. I'm the biggest guy on the screen.
Okay, we're live.
There's no
Good
ego
evening,
here.
Somers, and welcome to the Somers Town Board Work Session of Thursday, November 4th, 2021. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and be seated. Okay, the first item on our agenda is public comment. I make a motion to open public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. And we are taking public comment via Zoom. We are taking public comment,
A cell phone?
cell phone, text. And once again, public comment is an opportunity for any resident of the town of Somers to bring up an issue that's not on the agenda. And with that, I'll ask if anyone's here for public comment. I do not see anyone here for public comment. I'll ask about anyone on text.
Nope.
Okay, on the phone or Zoom. Okay, so I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item is the Town of Somers COVID update. So once again, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Town of Somers is at least we're doing better than Westchester County as a whole as far as vaccination goes. Everyone that's eligible has at least had one. Now, younger children above the age of 5 are now getting vaccinated.
You're saying that everybody in town who's eligible has gotten at least one shot?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Not everyone. We're at 70, not
Oh,
close to
what you
80.
said, I thought you said everybody eligible. I was like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, everybody eligible that
So
could
what,
get the
79?
shot, but we're 79, 80%.
Do you know what the county is?
They're at 77, I
Oh,
think.
good.
Yeah,
Not
so
bad for the county.
we're a little bit above that. You know, over the last week, the town is averaging 2 or 3 new cases a day, and there's about 24 active currently in the community. And once again, that's manageable. We're not, we're trending. It's kind of flatlined at this point. I'd like to see no cases. We're still doing restrictions here at the townhouse, where if you're coming in here to do business and you're not an employee, you're supposed to be wearing a mask. And if you're an employee dealing with the public, you have to wear a mask when you deal with them. And these are, precautions we'll follow until we're confident that, this virus has been beat and transmission rates are 0.
Rick, so what, and I,
Rich, can you hear me?
Yes.
The audio dropped off for me. I don't hear them. Do you hear them?
No, I'm in the middle of a meeting here. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Tony can't hear us.
I got you now. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so I just mentioned 3 new positions are being added to the budget. The major announcement is we were able, through the help of the town board, to deliver a 0 tax increase yet again for 2022. We were able to get our budget down to 0 tax increase for this year as well. We've added money into our paving fund. And if you're some of the lucky few who are getting their roads paved, we're out there this week milling roads. I'm getting complaints that some of the roads are torn up. Well, that's the precursor to having them paved. So have some patience and you'll have a very smooth and professionally laid road. Okay, so those are our highlights. Next week, we will adopt salaries for the elected officials in town, and we will set a public hearing for December 10th. Okay, that's the public hearing on our budget. So that's that. Okay, the next item on our agenda is 265 Route 202 petition for zoning amendment. Roland, do you have any update on that?
The applicant this afternoon called the applicant's attorney and asked for an adjournment to
Okay.
the December work session. And I think she subsequently followed it up with a letter to the town clerk. You received that?
I said everybody.
Okay, I did not see that today, but
Neither did I. So this is right next door?
yeah, this is a petition, an application for a petition for the, for Starbucks, but it's to declare, they're asking us to declare ourselves as lead agencies, refer it out to planning. But, you know, I've made it known to the owner, a Starbucks is considered a fast food establishment and which is not permitted in our current business historic zone. So, I mean, I, for one, would not be in favor of changing a zone in our historic district to allow this. I think it would set a dangerous precedence, you know, for our town. And once again, the traffic issue at that location is still key. You know, a Starbucks will generate morning traffic. And there's a disaster out here every morning to begin with. So, yeah, we can.
But now, just so I know, so from that standpoint, though, we were able to sort of pivot away, and we could talk about this at the work session.
Sure.
But we were able to pivot away from a 7-Eleven. Now, the 7-Eleven could rear its ugly head again.
Correct.
And we, unfortunately, we have the building inspector opined that was within the code. Okay, all right, I just want to make sure I understand.
Right. So in my mind, yes, 7-Eleven was proposed. We were aghast
Yeah, no, we were all against it. I
at that.
agree.
And then, you know, a Starbucks got presented and, oh, wow, yes, we love Starbucks, but it's like the lesser of two evils. You know, Starbucks is going to bring every bit as much traffic as the 7-Eleven would have. And that's a key instance.
At interesting times.
And it's,
I know one of the original things with the 7-Eleven was the hours, obviously. We certainly did not want the 24-hour.
yeah, but I think they capitulated on that too. They said they wouldn't.
So again, my only fear is that,
Voluntarily, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but my only fear is that it opens the door for the 7-Eleven to come back.
This was, It wasn't too healthy, but
Okay.
I was at work.
no, that's fine. It's just, that's what I was saying.
Okay, so we will obviously take up this discussion
Yep.
at December 5th. But my opinion is this, Tom, we had an issue with 7-Eleven. They withdrew the application. They came back with the Starbucks. So that's what's on our plate
No,
right
no, no,
now.
I don't disagree.
And once again, as one individual, don't think allowing a fast food restaurant in a historic district, if this was in a community shopping center, if it was in a neighborhood shopping, that's a whole nother story. But even in those zones, they're not allowed. So to me, this is a lesser of two evils, not the correct use. And while I'm speaking about uses, as you are aware, when 7-Eleven came in, we said, let's go out and see if we can get a planner to study uses in our business historic district. So we did go out to bid. We got some bids back. And I think they were one of them, the one and only bid we got back was something that the town board, the amount was something we didn't really want to invest in. Then COVID hit. Then we hired a new planner, and I have taxed the new planner with studying.
Okay, but no, again, I just want to make sure I had an understanding of it. So that's 100% with you, Rick.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm not justifying or taking anything away from Starbucks right now. I'm just telling you what we're doing now is the planner, I had a meeting with him yesterday, and he has looked at historic districts in Westchester County. He said a lot of them are comparable. There's one he looked at in Peekskill, which is more of a, city, and Ossining. Armonk he looked at, and I said, well, you go upstate New York, go to Ridgefield, let's see what type of uses fit into a business historic district. So that is a continuing, he will give us a report that we can make, decisions. And then if we agree on what those uses are, we can codify them so that, owners of property who want to bring in businesses, we don't have to go through this, it's you need a variance, or we have to amend a zone to allow this to happen. So trying to be as fair as possible during this procedure. Okay, so they'll be at our December work session.
December 10th.
No, one work
It's
session.
like, it's the ninth. It's the ninth.
Now, the work session?
No, the work session should be.
No, that's the fifth. I mean, the hearing for the budget. Did you say the 10th?
It's yes, it's 2 and 9. I'm
2
sorry.
and 9.
Excuse me, I retract my previous statement.
So the budget's on the 9th.
Yes.
Okay, so the budget hearing will be at our town board
And the
meeting
section.
on the
Maybe
9th.
Maybe I want to spend my Friday night with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you did. Don't be, but we have to. Okay, so our work session is going to be December 2nd, and our tentative budget will be, we'll have a public hearing on the 10th, on the 9th, which will then turn into our adopted budget at the end of the public hearing.
Excellent.
Okay, moving on to item number 4, authorize supervisor to execute the renewal contract for office building cleaning supplies for $46,000 with KenCal Corporation for a memo dated October 28th from Tom Tuma, building inspector. So we'll put that on the consensus agenda. And
Are they coming in and like spraying? They're not doing that. They're just doing the basics now. Okay.
right. So why don't we, since Dan is here, we'll just skip to number 7 on the agenda. And we asked Dan to come, and he's been gracious enough to come up in the past and give us updates. Just in summary, this has to do with our community choice aggregation program, of which Somers is enrolled as a standard user. We get the standard rate here for those who are participating. This is the time of year we go out to bid, and Dan has gotten back to us with issues regarding these bidding numbers are very high and to go out into the market right now is not in our best interest. So Dan is in front of us tonight asking to support a memorandum of understanding. And take it away, Dan.
Yeah, so,
Actually, oh no, Tony's in front. I was going to say
Oh.
he can't act on anything, but Tony's here, so he can, because I have to recuse myself. So you still have 3 members.
Yep. Okay, we can do
so
that.
thanks, Rick, and I want to acknowledge that. I guess this may be the last time that I come before you in your current capacity.
Yes,
maybe?
I
So
believe it might be,
so-
unless you want to come back. I've got three more meetings.
just for kicks, I guess, yeah.
Make it good.
So tonight, I'm here to talk about a very technical thing we call in the power industry a do-over. Basically, you may recall the history. We had this meeting essentially a couple of months ago, and all the NYSEG towns got signed up to a similar, the exact same MOU with a different price level in it. And exactly concurrently with that, the electricity markets, driven by the natural gas markets, started taking a run. And so by the time we were ready to go to auction, the number we had for the price not to compare was not going to cut it. We were at 8.7 cents, and we went out for another round of indicatives that were coming in at a penny more than that. And though normally you can expect in the auction to close some gap, and maybe get yourself 2/10, 3/10 of a cent, you weren't going to pull a penny out of that. We knew we were going to have an empty auction. So we backed up and tried to figure out what we could do. We looked at whether or not we could get a contract extension to give us a little space to organize for the next bid. And we went out to our current supplier around for that. And we got numbers that were like, this doesn't make sense. They're just too high. And it wasn't too much of a surprise because we were asking basically to extend through what are normally the most expensive months, the winter months in a market, which is the most expensive that we've seen, since we've been doing this. So they were coming in at like 11, 12 cents. And so we said, let's take a pause. We decided that the best path forward is to regroup, target a restart in March. Rates should be in better shape with a March start and based on our indicatives.
Mhm.
And that'll give us time to go out and have our auction and achieve that. But the prices nevertheless are elevated versus what they were. And there's a number of factors, but the main one is gas exports. And though I'm not a trader and I can't, profess to be a fortune teller or anything, but first of all, natural gas drives the electricity market pricing because it's the dominant fuel in terms of what decides the pricing. And natural gas was trading at $3 a million BTUs or whatever the unit is that they use for a long time. And then they built the pipelines to connect to the coastline, where now they can ship to Europe. The European market, it sells at 4 or 5 times the price of the US market. So all of a sudden, our market is a totally different thing. So prices have gone up. The current indicative price for the renewable now is 10.2 cents. That's what we put in the MOU. That, of course, means, as you know, in the standard supply, it's basically going to come in at that less the renewable energy certificate price, which is what greens the power. That's currently also much higher than it used to be. It's like $0.015. So you'd be looking at about an 8.7 cent price that, expectation for the standard price, and which happens to be about where NYSEG is about now. We were about 8.5 cents last month, and we don't know what November will be yet, but it's, that's the trend. We expect, again, that normally your pricing is going to go up in the winter, and we think that the full impact of this whole connection to Europe and the complete reset of the markets is going to be a permanent thing. There's nothing out on the horizon that's going to change that, unlike something where it's, weather-based or, some other event, which is comes and goes,
So Dan, I know this is like looking into a crystal ball, but
Right.
what is waiting till March gonna do?
But we're not really waiting till March. We would recommend to go out for the auction as soon as we get our MOUs in and we get the suppliers organized to come to the table. So we would have the auction for a March start. So that it'd be
Okay.
looking
Got
into
it.
the future for a March start. So we don't start in the winter time in the worst
Okay.
of times.
So if you would, so tonight we're here to discuss the memorandum of understanding. If you could explain that to the board, that would be
Right.
great.
So this is the same format that we have used for the years that we've been running the program. It's essentially amounts to an agreement. It says, and it sets out the roles of the administrator, us, the municipalities, you, and that we're going to run this auction, the bidding process. And then it sets out, importantly, the real key is this price not to exceed. We want to go into the auction without this like just open-ended, it could be anything thing. So we collect as much information as we can and put that in there. And that means if we get compliant bids that are within that range, that are underneath that price not to exceed, that we can make an award, and the municipalities are committed to then signing the associated contract with that. So it's kind of a agreement to agree if as long as the bids come in compliant.
So Dan,
So on number C of the MOU, it says a compliant bid price must be inclusive of fees owned by and inclusive owned by program manager and be less than residential accounts of 10.2 cents per kilowatt hour, and then small commercial 10.20 cents per kilowatt hour. So what you're saying,
That would be the renewable price essentially. And that's the way we've done it in all the years past that's the renewable price, but we're auctioning for both. And
Right.
we know that the standard price is going to be, basically that less the rec.
all right, so in the case of Somers, who we've chosen in the past to go with the standard
Right.
rate.
And that's, we actually have a place where you're going to circle that just so we're clear about that. We
Okay.
move that up into the definition of default product. So pay attention to that if you would.
So Roland, have you had a chance to?
It's the same version.
It's the
as
same,
what Salem
same as
said.
always
Yes,
with
I've
that
seen it.
one
Okay,
little tweak. We used to have that down in the municipal responsibilities, but a lot of people missed it down there. So we moved it up into the definition of default product. It says default product is the one that people fall into automatically. And then here, please circle the one for your town.
okay. So my understanding is now that, well, apparently there's a little confusion with our current supplier, Eligo. I guess they're notifying people
Yes.
that the
So,
contract is over November 6th or something, and it's actually the 30th.
yes. So the way they've interpreted is that they are saying they're not going to be supplying after November 30th, which means they have to end people on their meter read date before then,
I see.
because you can't stop in the middle. So this did happen sooner than we expected. So we've got as you know, some communications that are going out to try and catch up with that. And I saw you've already posted that
Yeah.
on your website, and we'll also be going out with a postcard for that.
Okay, so for the residents that are watching that, actually pay attention to the utility bills and opted into the community choice aggregation program. Basically, at the end of November, they're going to be dropping out of that and they're back as NICEAG customers.
Right.
Okay.
So they'll be dropping in for a few months.
Right, so I'm a resident in, 3 months, we go out to bid. Let's say we get it at 9.2 for the renewable rate. do I now have to
It'll be
re-sign up?
just like the past. You'll get a notification letter it should be January, because we got that 30-day opt-out period. So it's like the first week in January, and you get the 30 days, everybody gets the letter. It says what the new rate is. It gives you all the information about if you want to opt out or change your supply to the renewable or whatever you want to do. And then at the end of that 30 days, whoever's opted out is left out, and the rest are enrolled as they were before without having to take any action. And then they can enroll, they can always exit at any time in the future as well without any costs.
Right, and as we said here too, the town is choosing the standard rate because we don't want to make any presumptions that, people want to pay for their renewable. So, but even if we enroll them, or they get enrolled as a standard rate, each individual customer can upgrade to the renewable rate.
That's right. That's right. And we of course encourage that, for those people who recognize that as something good to do. But they can stay at the standard rate as the default. And of course that's what you're in now, and it's performing pretty well honestly for this current contract.
So just to be clear, the default for any given customer, any given resident in Somers is the status quo.
Yes.
Whatever
it'll be
you
this-
have now.
the standard rate. Although if they've previously opted into the green rate,
Mhm.
we assume they want to roll over and
So
stick
that's
with
their
that.
status quo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way that would be handled.
So those notifications will be going to just enrollees, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that changing, we're not mailing.
We can certainly publicize that,
Exactly.
we've got a new CCA contract.
Yep.
Go to a
Yep.
website if you want to sign up, okay.
Yeah, no, it's the same process as it's always been, and people have all those options.
Okay, great. Tony, any questions? Yes, sir.
No, I think you covered it. I mean, there was the coordination issue that you talked about, but I think the public is going to need to understand that they may be facing a 25% increase after November, and it really has anything to do with the contract dropping off or not. It has to do with the energy market, that they've been insulated with a fixed rate. Now we're at about 6.9%, so they've been insulated as in recent months, right? As that market spot rate's
Yeah.
been going up, they're going to transition to the spot rate in December, and all things being equal, we're looking at a 25% increase. That's a big number.
That's yeah, and of course, if we had a crystal ball way back in the last contract, we would have locked in for a 3-year contract or something like that. So that's but that's obviously not
Water
an
under the
option.
bridge.
Water under the bridge, yeah. But it does tell us, I think, at the time we were in a very low price market, and we were kind of nervous because the last contract didn't perform that well. So everybody wanted to go short, but I think it's good to, when this next bid comes up, we always had the same dynamic where we could have compliant bids at 1 year and 2 years, for example.
Mhm.
And then we want to make a judgment on that. And if at that time, those same factors are in play now, where the pressure on the prices is there and there's no reason for it to abate, you might want to take the 2-year price. It might be a wise thing to do. So they'll, but whatever happens, we're going to keep within that cap. So.
Okay. Great. All right. Well, thank you, Dan, coming up and explaining that.
My pleasure.
We can, Roland, you can review the current memorandum of understanding. We can put it on our, is there a time frame when you need these back?
We're trying to get to auction as soon as possible because we just see nothing but the prices continuing to rise. So that's kind of why we're trying to get out here as quick as we can.
Okay, so Yeah, we can put it on our consensus agenda for next week and have it, what? No, not next week. You're right. It's,
No, you can't put it on the consensus agenda. You can't put it on the consensus agenda.
no. Oh, you're right. Exactly. Cannot do that.
And you're 2 weeks away from your next meeting.
Right, because it's November 18th. All right, so yeah, we'll move on this tonight.
That would
Yeah,
be,
because I've seen it.
Mhm,
I
okay.
think that would be helpful just in terms of beating.
Okay,
the
great.
market. Yeah.
All right, Dan, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for all your work on the project. Okay, so with that said, I'll make a motion to enter into the Community Choice Aggregation Memorandum of Understanding and the Electric Service Agreement, ESA, with Sustainable Westchester.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved. And there we have it. All right, take care, Dan.
I'm already sitting out here. You want to go right to the double wood item?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So we're,
See you guys.
we're jumping around a little bit. Number 6 on the agenda this evening is our double utility pole legislation. Last report, I told the board that I was having a meeting with the NICEAG folks that run the program of pole removal, installation and removal. And I've learned that we've been calling it double utility pole. They call it double wood. That's the vernacular on the street. But be that as it may, we had a great meeting. Our NICEAG contact, Dylan Mayoshi, arranged the meeting. Anthony, you were on that meeting as well,
Yes, I was.
the double wood meeting.
Yes.
And what we learned is there's a website that has all the double wood and status of notifications to the utilities that are on the pole, your Verizon, your Altice, and whoever else is on there. And so we really explained, really, we wanted to, they're in the right of way via an easement that the town gave the utility years ago. So we cannot legislate or kind of interject ourselves on that level. But I said to them, it says the NICEAG, look, we want to work in cooperation with you. So if you notify us which utility has to move off the pole, please do so. And, we'll contact them and we'll start trying to facilitate them moving off the pole. So what we did learn as a result of that meeting is the town of Somers has 200 double wood situations in our town. And Dylan is, I spoke with him actually today or yesterday. And he is going to arrange for another update meeting with the double wood folks to see that they're going to give us a little more information on how we can help them. That's basically what we thought we could get in there with legislation and put pressure directly on the other utilities, but that does not seem to be the case. But if we kind of partner with NICEAG on this, hopefully we'll get a better result. And for this next meeting, I do have a few pictures. I mean, there's a pole over in Lincolndale on Lake Road where, as you recall, there was a bus that lost its brakes, came flying down, hit a pole, and that pole got damaged on the bottom. So NICEAG came out, they moved their wires up, I guess notified Verizon and Altice. And this pole is tied with a rope to the new pole.
So we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good until that rope frays or or what have you, and people are going to lose cable and internet service. So, and there are a couple other poles that I remember seeing that were tied with rope. But we also have a local field guy that I've been talking to, that he's more than happy to help us in our endeavor. So we'll
So
engage him
with
as
the
well.
ones, seriously, the ones that are tied up with rope, is there a game plan? Is there a timetable? That's a ticking time bomb.
No, that's why we're carrying this on our agenda. You know, I put it on thinking we could legislate, but it doesn't
Uh-huh.
appear we can. But we're going to stick with this until we can get a timetable.
Yeah.
You know, what is a reasonable time after NYSEG moves off the pole that these other utilities? I believe, and once again, I could be wrong. I think it's Verizon moves first, then Altice.
Fine. Usually,
I wouldn't. So I will get more definitive information on that for you. But regardless, you know, NYSEG does what they have to do. And, you know, there are 200 poles in town that are not being removed.
So he promised us that he was going to give us his work orders that they issued to the other companies. So we get an understanding of,
Good point.
What-
Yeah, we
you know, what the
follow up.
status of their, you know, their moves are.
Right. So to your point, Bill, then we will know, you know, what the time frame should be. All right, good. So yeah, Tony will notify you when the next double wood meeting is. Okay, Councilman, you can return to the dais here. We'll hit number 5 on our agenda, which is to authorize a waiver of the $150 zoning board application fee in order for the Heritage Hills to get a variance to bury 2 additional propane tanks for the new generator to be installed at Heritage Hills Activity Center / Town of Somers Emergency Shelter per memo dated October 29th from Tom Tuma, Junior Building Inspector.
is that consensus or tonight?
That could be consensus. This, it's got to go to the zoning board anyway. So I did ask, I said, well, this has to do with getting a variance regarding the groundwater overlay district. And we're in the process of changing that part of our code to take propane tanks out of it because they're contained. The overlay district, you know, you can't have fossil fuels that could readily spill into the water, underground water. So that's why we don't allow it. But they've already been to the zoning board for a variance for the 2 1,000-gallon tanks. And I said, well, you know, can't we just get an umbrella variance? And he felt that we needed to go back for the 2 additional. So that we'll move that to the consensus agenda. Personnel. Once again, we have vacancies on our boards. You know, if you're out there, you want to become involved in the community, we'd love for you to come down and volunteer on one of our boards. And I'd like to authorize the appointment of Lauren Johnson to the Somers Partners in Prevention Committee to fill an unexpired 3-year term ending December 31, 2023. And Lauren, we thank you for coming out and volunteering for that most important board. So I'm sure they'll be glad to have you. Number 4 under personnel, authorize the hiring of Victoria Durso as a part-time availability PTA chauffeur for the Somers Senior Services Department at an hourly rate of $17.50 per memo dated October 12th from Barbara Tabor, Seniors and Nutrition Program Director, effective October 15th. Is that a motion on those?
If you don't, if you want to move them tonight, fine. If not, I'm just gonna have them thrown on the consensus agenda.
Yeah, let's move those two. Let me see, is there anything else? Okay, we'll put them on the consensus agenda. They're
Well, we're gonna do the police officers tonight, so that's why it doesn't really matter.
right. Okay. Oh, yeah, we are going to move this. Okay, so number 5 is authorize the hiring of Mario Classis, part-time availability chauffeur for the Senior Services Department, hourly rate of $17.50, memo dated October 13th from Barbara Tabor, program director, and that took effect on October 18th. And while we're talking about the senior nutrition program, as where everywhere else, getting employees is very difficult. But these are most important chauffeurs. They deliver meals. They drive seniors to their doctor appointments and shopping. So at least we can add two drivers to our team. Okay, number 6 and number 7 we'll move tonight. And that is to authorize the promotion of David Burpee from police officer to the rank of sergeant, Town of Somers Police Department, and at an hourly pay rate equivalent to, and strike the 85%, equivalent to the current sergeant rate per memo dated October 6th from Brian Linkletter, Police Chief, and that's effective October 9th. And then authorize the hiring of Adam D'Onofrio as a part-time police officer for the Town of Somers Police Department to work no more than 20 hours per week at an hourly pay equivalent to 80% of the current police officer's rate per memo dated October 29th from Brian Linkletter, Police Chief, effective November 6th.
Just a quick question on that one.
Sure.
In past, we've actually always met the police officer before we hired him.
Yes,
I'm just wondering why that's not the case now.
because you weren't at the last meeting.
Oh, he was at the last meeting?
He was at the last
Okay.
executive session. Yeah, great guy. New York City background.
Oh, good. I
Couldn't be,
forgot I wasn't at the last meeting.
yeah, he joins a very professional work, police staff.
That's a great staff.
Okay, I'll make a motion to, should I move the nutrition? Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to move number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, and 7. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Okay, which brings us to our proposed consensus agenda. If there's any questions on that item,
Yeah. The consensus agenda.
yeah, one. Okay, so that brings us to close of our meeting.
I haven't been told it was your purchase.
He's what?
Rich, are you here on the phone?
I am.
Oh, okay. You didn't announce yourself.
Oh, sorry.
been
It was.
saying aye?
Yes, he has
I
been.
said
Yes, I thought I heard that eye in
Like
the.
double I. I thought it was.
No, no.
Yeah,
reverberant.
sorry.
Okay, very good.
I was in a CIA secret house. I couldn't get out in time.
No, well, we appreciate you getting on via phone anyway.
Thank you.
So our next meeting normally would be scheduled for November 11th, which is Veterans Day. We will not be meeting then. We'll be meeting the following Thursday, November 18th at 7 p.m. So at this point in our agenda, we usually turn to our very talented town clerk and ask for town announcements.
And I also get rid of the phone, which I
Okay.
always enjoy doing.
Well, I have some very nice announcements on here for tonight.
Great.
I'm going to start with Westchester County 2021 Senior Citizen Hall of Fame. Our one and only, one of my favorite residents, Nancy Gerbino.
Oh, the best.
Planning board member of the Somers Historical Society, was nominated by Supervisor Rick Morrissey and selected by the panel of judges to be one of the 42 deserving seniors in the Hall of Fame for the class of 2021. Well deserved. Congratulations.
Here,
Nick.
here.
Is there some sort of a presentation or anything like that? Is it already passed?
Yeah, there's going to be a ceremony.
Oh, that's what. Sorry. I've known Nancy since I was 2 years old. Served on the planning board with her. She was one of my mother's best friends. She's a wealth of information in the town. She volunteers for everything. She's a great lady, and it's really, really well deserved. And Rick, thank you for nominating her. That was a fantastic pick.
Yeah. She is a great senior and a great planning board member. And talk about, she has a wealth of information. You could just, when you talk to her, you could talk to her about any topic. So that's great.
Okay, well, the town of Somers bulk refuge drop-off can still going on. It's going until Saturday, November 13th. It's city carting and located on Route 100 across from the highway garage. You can, it's Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. You pull in, you get weighed. Ain't going in, you get weighed going out, and it's at a discounted rate. All this information is available on our town website.
And I would like to point out that you can contact Mike Fiorello, and his number is posted on the website, because we've been kind of fielding calls, and all we're doing is getting so one of the calls was, I had a fallen tree, it's all chopped up, can I dump the wood at city carting? The answer to that was no. But if you have refrigerators and air conditioners, and they're void of, coolant, they'll be taken. But on the website is Mike Fiorello, who's a great guy. He's we're very good with the town over the years, supporting our Somers Litter Task Force and conducting these bulk refuse drop-off days. So do check the website.
The next thing is Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child. You can pack up an Operation Christmas Child shoebox. Shoebox will be collected Monday, November 15th through Monday, November 22nd at the First Baptist Church. It's in Peekskill. You can also visit the website SamaritansPurse.org on Operation Christmas Child to find other drop-off locations. And for $25, you can purchase a pre-built box for a child. I actually went on to the website today, and it is pretty nifty. You can kind of choose what you want to put in that box for that child. So it is a personal touch, and you get to add a letter and a photo if wanted. You can contact Jen Sprin, and her information will be available on our website. The third annual Somers Track and Field Boaster Club's Turkey Trot is happening Thanksgiving morning, Thursday, November 25th. 8 a.m. is the 5K trail. 9 a.m. is the 1 mile fun run or walk. Virtual 5K options are available. And you can register at www.runsignup.com. Registration closes on the 24th. Again, available on our website. Okay. So for fun facts, oh wait, no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Rich is not here to steal my thunder, so I'll do it.
He is.
Tomorrow
Well,
night.
just put
I'm
us.
listening. I'm
Tomorrow
listening
night,
from the Sawmill River Parkway.
our one and only Somers football team will be playing Pelham Manor at 7 PM at our Somers High School field. It is the semifinals. We're gonna take this region. And hopefully we'll be in Syracuse on the 5th, of the 3rd of December.
Sweet.
Okay.
Is
Good.
is it Syracuse?
Congratulations, coach and team.
Or isn't that where the state finals?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're hoping we
Hopefully,
get there.
December 3rd, we will be.
Oh, December, because I thought it was normally Thanksgiving.
No, it's
Carrier
it's a week
Dome.
late and it's not the 3rd. The 3rd is our 4th.
Oh, good.
We're like a day off
Yeah, I'm sorry.
and we're moving the clocks back. We're in trouble.
Okay, so in 1841, the first wagon train arrived in California. In 1904, the first stadium built specifically for football, hence the football reference, was built, and that was Harvard Stadium. The first woman US governor was elected on November 4th in 1924. So all these people who want to claim they're this and that, that's not true.
1924, on this day.
On this
Right.
day,
Wow. All right.
and that was
Don't claim
Miss-
it in front of Patty.
now I have backup. That, and actually, there was 2 women elected that year, and one was Miss Nellie Ross, who was elected in Wyoming, taking office on January 5th, 1925. Myra Ferguson was also elected governor in Texas the same day, but she didn't take office until January 20th. The reason why Nellie took office in Wyoming first was because she was taking over for her husband, who died while in office.
Ah,
Today's birthdays are Walter Cronkite, Art Carney, Doris Robert, Ralph Macchio, my deputy here, he's from Huntington, just like she, and Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Did you know
all
him?
right, all right.
never disappoint. You never disappoint.
Can I add 2 things?
No,
Yes, you can.
So, and also in line with the football, which obviously everybody come out and support tomorrow night. Soccer has been moving along very well. Was not a soccer guy, but I have a good friend whose son plays on the team. I went to the last 2 games, and I got to tell you, they were 2 of the most exciting games I've ever been to. Wins by Somers. So the next game is, I believe, Saturday at Byram Hills. I want to say it's at 12:30, but you can check on the school website for that. And then also, lest we forget, this weekend on Saturday is Holiday Happiness at the school. Due to COVID precautions, it's going to be outdoors. So hopefully it won't be too cold and rainy, because I'm volunteering at 9 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully it'll be warm enough. So if you can get out and support it, and you can get some Christmas presents and other things, and support some of the local businesses
Yeah,
in town.
there's still a lot of craft items
Yep.
and things like that. It's a
Yep.
great place to.
And I believe they're still they usually have like that tag sale type that used to be in the small gym. I saw an email where they were asking for donations. So they're probably going to have something like that as well. So if you can get out this weekend, I think it's going to be cool, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend. By cool, I mean cold. But
Okay, very good. So I think a number of years ago, when we had the parade for all the title winners in the town of Somers, we kind of named ourselves Title Town. And I'm telling you, this year's teams have not disappointed. They are fantastic. So best of luck to the Tuskers, soccer, football,
and
go out and get them.
I don't know if you have, but again, and I don't know if you were going to say this, and also we'd love if people could come on Thursday of this week for Veterans Day. We're having our annual parade. We're back out there. It's starting this time. I believe it's starting in between the middle school and the intermediate school. I think they moved it back a little bit. Again, marching up to Ivandale Cemetery. So if you can get out there and come out and cheer on our veterans, it would be much appreciated. We usually have a nice showing for that parade to, we the veterans from the greatest generation are unfortunately few and far between now. So the ones that do come out, we want to get out and really cheer them on and thank them for their service, as well as all of the other veterans, obviously.
So, yeah, and thanks for bringing that up, Tom. Through the assistance and coordination of the Somers Lions Club, they're running Kate O'Keefe from the Lions Club took this on, done a great job with it. Once again, last year, we were curtailed the ceremony. We did not have a parade. This Thursday, it's going to be the biggest parade we've had quite some time. What we're adding is vintage cars with veterans riding in them.
Vintage American cars. if I understand
Vintage
correctly.
Americans. So I can't bring my BMW.
Correct.
Okay, well, maybe I have to pull out the 57 Chevy.
I was going to say, you still have that truck, right?
Yeah, but I can barely get into it. So, no, I just wanted to thank the Lions and encourage everybody to come out because it's going to be a semi-car show and honoring our veterans.
Yeah.
So if any further comments, concerns?
No, covered them all.
Okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Good night, Somers.
We must have bored Tony. He dropped off early.
Well, he's in that 8,000 square foot